Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, today we're going to talk about something that really ticks me off, and it is season 6 of Once Upon a Time. Though there are parts about it that make me happy, like the last 30 seconds of the finale. But besides that,
What about the musical?
Oh, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Well, I am joined here, as usual, by Biggles Mets.
Hi, sorry, the Mets just won. They came back in the 9th, won, scored 7. They won. Now we can.
Oh, so they won the game?
Yeah, they just won. The game is over. I can focus on everything now. Hello, everybody. My name is Biggles Mets. Fuck snow. And let's talk about Once Upon a Time.
Yay! See, I was about ready to say to forgive you because it was right at the most exciting part of the game, and I completely understand that being a big football fan. So it's always they always go overtime or something that's very exciting right when you have to be somewhere. So I completely understand. Well, congratulations to the Mets, Biggles. And I'll be honest with you, I'll just say congratulations to your team because that's the only team I know. I don't know anything about baseball. Yay!
Well, I'm glad.
Okay.
I'm glad I can get you to know at least the Mets.
Yeah, the Mets. Well, I know the Red Sox. I know about the history. How's that? I just the game. Well, but the good news is we're not here to talk about baseball, though. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll do a sports channel sometime.
One day.
It'll be soccer all day. And we have Biggles Mets. And Biggles, before we get going into the nitty gritty of this season, I want to see if you maybe want to give us a overview or general thoughts that you have about this disaster of a season. I'm biased, but go ahead.
So, if you watched our last one, we talked about Mr. Hyde ending the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the land of untold stories comes back, and it's now they're all back in Storybrooke, or what? Storybrooke, and they basically lock up Hyde in the beginning. So their villain is in jail. But guess what? He's not the villain. You know who is the villain for the first half? The Evil Queen. So the Evil Queen is back, and that's really dumb because we have Regina and the Evil Queen. So you have this stupid thing with the actress arguing with herself like the whole time. You're only good because I was evil. Straighten up your shoulders, Henry. Blah blah blah. Slouching is for peasants or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing about the Evil Queen being split totally negated everything that Regina had achieved up to this point, because the whole theme of her redemption was that she was evil and that she overcame that and she redeemed herself, that she became the Evil Queen. She did the things as the Evil Queen through her own free will, and it was through her own free will as well that she changed, and part of it was because of love. That love changed her. She was Darth Vader. You know what I mean? And then when they tried to make it that no, it was just two parts of her, that the Evil Queen was like the evil, and then there was the good. It's like that completely negated everything.
Yep.
She was.
And that was Snow's idea. So fuck you, Snow, once again. Then we meet the Evil Queen. Then there's Zelina with the baby, and she's like, I got a baby. You can't touch the baby. The baby's mine. And she's like, they ruined Zelina in the first half. She's better after she loses her powers, whatever. But right after you meet all that, you have a really good episode with the Count of Monte Cristo. He's the only good thing in that first half. But that's only because of how they say it in the show. And
I'm sorry, you froze up there, so I didn't hear what you were saying. So hopefully it was very intelligent and didn't just get me banned. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, we're good. I didn't say anything really bad there. But you get Nemo, who ends up being like a father figure to Hook, and you
Hmm.
find out that his little brother is also on the ship, and I think you find out about his little brother in season 5, that
Yes.
he murdered his father and left his little brother uh, parentless. Um, and then what happens after that? They kill Hyde. Fucking really dumb. Hyde could have been great. They decided they didn't want to go with a good villain. They wanted to do something stupid. They gotta what is that? Something our expectations, subvert our
Yeah,
expectations.
yeah, the whole thing
Yeah,
was subverting our expectations. Yeah,
yeah,
hang on there because we're going to get into some more details. But so you agree with me, especially 6A completely sucked 500,000
yeah.
dragon
I
matches.
yeah, I like 6B though. 6B is one of my more favorites.
Yeah. And we're going to get to that. And I have a theory behind that. That's not really a theory. But so before we go on, let's say hi to everyone in our chat. Jacob Ironside, thank you for being here. Thank you, TD. Always great to see you. Saying hello. I'm saying hello to you too. Michael's Asylum, thank you for being here. Welcome, Miss Martin Muses. Please give a like, share, and a subscribe. It is Sheedwall of Dragons. Hello, hello. We have the maker. We have George Lucas. George Lucas is in our chat. Wow, what an honor. Thank you, George Lucas, for being here. Um, Biggles. Oh, there's Biggles. That's you. See
But
anyone
I
else?
do.
We have more Biggles. We have the Tad that shouldn't be. Hello, the Tad that shouldn't be. Thank you for being in here. Thank you for being in here. Biggles. I keep saying 6A. I don't remember 6A. I just rewatched it. Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Michael's Asylum says 6 was so bad. I must have mentally blocked it out because I don't remember much of it at all. You are not alone in that. It was literally so painful that even though it was my job to watch it just physically hurt. And we couldn't get anyone to watch it or review it because everyone was like, "We're just so depressed. we're just so depressed. We don't even want to watch it," because they were undoing everything that we had seen. Not just undoing things like Regina the Evil Queen, but we
Rumple.
sincerely believe, yeah, Rumple. Oh gosh, what they did to Rumple and what they did to Belle, what they did to almost every single character that
Except for Hook,
except for Hook, because Hook can't do anything to Hook because
because
the
he's the best.
well, he is an awesome character, but it really became clear at this point that they had a such a boner for Hook that they, to the detriment of his character, he was just so perfect and everyone else was getting crapped on, and that also pissed people off. But we were genuinely sincerely believing that they were not going to give us a happy ending because it was so horrendous. People were doing things that were so unforgivable. It it almost made what the evil queen, as Regina, the real evil queen, the integrated Regina, it was worse than what she was doing. And because they had just gotten done killing Robin Hood, we sincerely believed that they were not having a plan for a happy ending, and they were just it was just one of the most messed up things I had ever seen. And we're going to get into some details about that. But one bright light, and only because the only thing that made it sad, rather, is because it didn't last long enough, was the whole Dr. Jekyll. I call it Dr. Hyde and Mr. Jekyll, and you know if you know, because that is the twist. So now I'm going to unleash you, Biggles. Talk with us about how they did Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or as I call it, Dr. Hyde and Mr. Jekyll.
So Dr. Hyde, uh, instead of Mr. Hyde, is a straight badass. You learn this at the end of season 5 or whatever, and then they just take him in, and he's like, "I like my steak. Both of you think the same. Yes, thank you for your lasagna. I am Dr. Hyde." That's what he became in 6,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still like, he still has all the answers, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm not the evil one." And you find out in the episode that Jekyll's like, "You banged the girl I loved," and then like it's still him, it's the other him, and he just throws her out the window or pushes her out the window and kills her because he's like, "You wanted to have sex with him," and then he I think he like turned back into Mr. Hyde, and Hyde was like, "No!" And then they're all like, "Oh, Mr. Hyde killed him, and not Jekyll."
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then he tries to kill Belle, um, and I think Captain Hook saves her.
Of course he does.
Yeah,
Because he's the only one that's allowed to do anything good in 6A.
and he's like, "Get the fuck off my ship," and kills him basically.
Yeah. I did like that episode. I liked the twist that uh, the little meek little guy was really the evil one, Dr. Jekyll. And of course, Belle, who was too dumb to live by this point, it's like, oh, hi, go ahead and come on the ship. It's safe.
Yeah,
And
she's fucking stupid. I can't believe what they did to her. I was like, why is she
oh,
so fucking stupid? When did she start doing stuff with Will? Fourth season?
oh
Fourth
yeah, that
season started
4B.
the real downfall of Belle. And
Yeah.
you're like, I
Her
really hate
brain
this character
cells
now.
yeah, her brain cells leaked out of her head, and not only that, she became a jackass too.
Yeah.
And we're gonna there is we have a separate section for what they did with that story, but they once again they had a fantastic casting. The dude who they got to play Dr. Jekyll, aka Mr. Jekyll, he was great. He was fantastic. It's the dude who does the voice on the Clone Wars, I think. Am I right? He does a lot of voice acting, but
That's Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde, yeah, he was great. And they just totally like wasted him.
Yeah, they sidelined him.
Yeah.
That was the dumbest thing because he was the best character. In 5B, he was only in 2 episodes and he was by far the best character.
Mhm.
Like I remember us talking about how Hades wasn't intimidating, right?
Yeah.
Even though I liked the actor, he was not intimidating. And then you get Hyde come in and Hyde's like grabs David by the throat and was like laughing at him as he's choking him.
Yeah.
And then like they like attack him and he just kind of laughs at him and just like, is that all you got?
Yeah.
And then he's just like, oh, well, the most dangerous thing here is these untold stories that we'll finally get to tell, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the Count of Monte Cristo, and that's probably the best episode in that whole thing besides the Nemo episodes.
Yeah, Finding Nemo. Yeah. And that's another thing. They did what 2, 3 untold stories, and then that was it. And I was like, I thought it was going to be the whole season. There were so many
Yeah,
stories to tell. And
the Cinderella
and
episode was stupid.
oh yeah, that was ridiculous. Okay, but now that you brought that up, this is our next topic because this was positive. I'm trying really, really hard to bring up positive things from this season, and that was Nemo, Finding Nemo. Let's talk about
Yes,
him. I loved him. I thought the actor
he's
was great. The
he's
story was actually
fantastic.
engaging.
I have no idea why I feel like he was in the rest of the story and he's only in like 2 or 3 episodes and
Mm,
he really should have been in more. So basically, he is the Nautilus captain, which is an underground or not underground, underwater ship. It's a submarine. I think it's from 2000 Leagues Under the Sea. I think that's the name of the character in that book. Um,
20,000.
or 2000 liters
20,000.
20,000 liters of this under the sea,
League.
whatever. Leagues, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's
Liters.
okay.
I don't know stuff. Liters, leagues. I don't know. They're all the same to me. Metric system. So,
You're secretly European.
no, never.
Mhm.
So he's this, and he got his revenge on his family's murderers, right? So he finds a way to save people that have revenge in their hearts. So he finds Hook. He finds Hook's younger brother, Liam. He finds the other members of his crew. Now, you first meet him, and Hook is yelling at people, why do I have the slowest crew when I have the fastest ship? And Nemo goes, well, maybe they're tired. And he goes, wants to kill him. And he's like, what's your is your revenge really worth it on the Dark One? And he goes, I'll just have to settle for you. And then the ship comes up. He goes on the ship. Uh, they go to search for a key, which at the end of the episode, you find out that the key is to Mystery Island, which later on, you find out that the key to the Mystery Island is the land of untold stories. So Nimmo is on in the hospital because he gets stabbed by Liam, who is trying to get his revenge on Hook because he finds out that Hook is the guy who killed his father, left him fatherless. And then before that, they find this ship and they fight off a Kraken together. And he's like, you could have just let me drown. And he's like, I'm not giving up on you yet. And then he finds Nimmo. And then the second episode with Nimmo, Hook goes to him for advice because this is the closest to his father figure that he has, right? He's a father figure to him and his younger brother. So he goes for that. And then Gideon sends him away on a thing and he can't get back to Emma because they want Emma to fight the final battle by herself. So basically, Nimmo's the best character in this season and the only likable episodes in 5A.
Yeah. Well, there you are. And before we move on to the most horrible and horrible part, one more positive, and this is connected. This actually was connected with the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Belle is at this time pregnant and being a jackass. So Rumpel gives her a cassette tape of him reading to their unborn son a little Scottish poem. That's like a lullaby. It's like sleep, sleep, little bay. And as we all know, Robert Carlyle could read the phone book and make it sound like Shakespeare. So that was another bright light from 6A. Now let's get to Beauty is a Beast.
All right. You start this one, though.
Okay. Belle is probably one of the best fairy tale characters of all time. And
yeah, she even knows how to read.
Yes, she knows how to read. And what makes Beauty and the Beast such a good story is it wasn't just the Beast that had to change. Belle had to change. They both had to change. They're the one character or the fairy tale characters where they don't instantly fall in love. Almost all of them, it's just like, oh, there's a prince. Oh, there's this. But Belle and the Beast had to become tolerant of each other. Then they had to become friends. And then they had to fall in love. And they found that as they changed and transformed and helped each other. And remember, the Beast was under a curse, just like Rumpelstiltskin. And that is part of what also makes this 6A so flawed. And what they'd actually been doing with Rumpelstiltskin since 4A is they were acting like he was just who he was because that's who he was. It's like, no, this man is cursed. He is under a curse. He is the Dark One. He is just as cursed and just as susceptible to that evil, the same way as what happened with Hook when he was the Dark One and with Emma. But for some reason, I'm hearing an echo. Is that just me?
I don't know.
Yeah. Help me out here. If I am hearing an echo, yell at me. But so what happened was they completely forgot that. They just had that Robert Carlyle, Rumpelstiltskin was just being a beast. And you cannot ruin the Beast without ruining Belle. And they completely destroyed her at this point. She was being a really annoying, really weird, as we said, since 4B. But this one took the cake. It went into the hemisphere. Skin Deep was a masterpiece. Robert Carlyle told us in an interview that was done by two of the owner of Once Upon a Fan and his partner at the time, his business partner, whatever you want to call it, Laura Foster. They got to speak with Robert Carlyle, and it is on our website. He said that Skin Deep, up to that point in his life, was the best 42 minutes of television he had ever had the honor of doing in his career. And as you know, he'd done a hell of a lot of television. Skin Deep was a masterpiece. And part of what made it a masterpiece was how well they really understood Beauty and the Beast and were able to still put the Once Upon a Time twist upon it. What they did in 6A, they turned it into trash.
Yep.
And they had him, first of all, being a psycho. The cruelties he was doing to Belle were unbelievable. And not just to Belle, but to his unborn son. He terrorized her. And of course, Belle was being a beast too. Every 5 seconds, she was just telling him all these horrible things. She was just being bitchy. And when he woke her up, because she was in a box, remember at the end of last season?
She was in the box.
Yeah, because she was pregnant and she was on maternity leave. So she was inside a box. And the fact that Robert Carlyle was able to act so well opposite a box shows also his brilliance. But when she woke up, and because she was like, "You tried to trick me again. Oh my gosh." And she said, "You're just so selfish. No wonder all your children never wanted anything to do with you." And in the end, what did she say specifically? It was like, "Yeah, you ruined your son. You pushed him away and didn't want him to have anything to do with you. And you're not going to do it to my son," which was so cruel on so many different levels. Because one, remember, he's dead. His son is dead. And number two, it wasn't true that Rumpelstiltskin did change for Balefire. That was his whole arc in season 3. And he and Balefire reconciled. They forgave each other. And when Rumpelstiltskin had the choice, when he had the choice between the daggers and his son, he chose his son. So it's like they just wrote Belle to totally forget that and to use it against him, which was also just as cruel. I mean, just because they had Rumpel like entrapping Belle literally, but there's other ways you can trap people too, as we're kind of seeing with, if you're following this Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. Women often don't have the physical strength to be horrid, but they can be just as abusive and just as psychologically violent. And so Belle was doing that, and the way she talked to him, it was just unforgivable. But the real villain, though,
is the writers for what they did to Bellfire.
Well, not just the Balefire. The real villains were the writer. I was going to say the writers. The writers. The real villains were the writers, because they were the ones who wrote it. And I think that there was such a visceral reaction, especially on this story more than any other story, because we knew they were just doing it for the sake of shocking us, doing it for the sake of surprising us. Maybe I have reason to believe that they wanted to surprise us, because by this point they just seemed to be very focused on, you're not going to guess. And we were all like, yes, we never guessed you would do this. And then the most heinous thing that they did, again, destroying Regina's character, was they had Rumpel cheat on his pregnant wife, on Belle, with the evil queen. And they made it be that they had actually had a thing all those years ago, which was not the case. It was always clear that they had a father-daughter relationship. And the fact that Rumpel would cheat on Belle, and then Belle would just be all, well, I don't really care. And he's like, well, it didn't mean anything. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm talking to the writers there. Okay, my rant. Biggles, you go.
So, Belle is really stupid now. They took Hottie Hot Hot and made her a Not, and I don't like that. But yeah, so Belle is like, blah blah blah, Rumple. And like she's talking to Snow, and she's like, they gave me 2 pictures to the ultrasound, and I don't know if I want to give Rumple one. Blah blah blah. And it's like,
bitch,
come on, dude.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say about this. Um, I stopped investing in this relationship in 4B. Um, Luckily, in season 7, they kind of fix it. Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't like season 7. Um, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Um,
We get there because I've got a lot to say about this because the ratings for what happened with Rumple and the Evil Queen were doing all that weird stuff and all that. The ratings dipped to cancelable levels at that point, and it was
I,
a miracle, frankly, that it wasn't canceled. They actually completely deserved to get canceled because of what they did. But you will find often that when they're filming, they're usually I see it. That it's usually about 2 months behind when they start to film. When all that garbage started to hit around mid-October, they were starting to write and film the finale for 6A.
uh-huh.
You can see a visible shift in their tone at the end of at the very last episode of 6A. And you saw the same thing in 4A, same thing, 4B rather, that when they are reacting to the backlash and going, "Oh shit." So I should say that they actually fixed Belle and Rumple right at the end of 6A um when she was like, "You took my baby," and all that. He's like, "I didn't." And then when she finally realizes that she messed up her son and gave her son to a demon, and then Belle goes, "What have we done to our son? What have we done to each other?" They were responding to our criticism because it was all Rumple's fault, and then suddenly it was like, no, it was Belle's fault too, because Beauty was being a beast. Okay, speaking
Yeah.
of someone who is a beauty and not a beast, my nerdy home is here. Hello, Steph.
Are you sure she's
Hi.
not a beast?
Hey,
She's been killing things in D&D, so she might be.
well, I've been ranting and raving because, as you know, my dirty home, I feel very, very strongly about the whole Beauty and the Beast fairy tale and how perfectly they did it in Once Upon a Time, and just shat
Oh
all
yeah.
over it. This 6A. So I'll give you an opportunity maybe to speak to that, and then maybe some of the topics we also talked about the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Finding Nemo. So, but let's start with Beauty as a Beast. What do you think about what the hell they did?
I didn't like I just don't like the whole flip-flopping they do with Rumple and Belle.
Yep.
It gets very tiresome very quickly. It's like, how many times can this guy try and reform, And I get what they're saying, like, oh well, I mean, he does it to protect her, and then she's like, I'm going to protect our child. He's giving me a warning, and I'm not going to be around you, and then all that other stuff, and it's just kind of like,
No, it was completely out of character.
It's so out of character. I did like that Belle I guess during the Dr. Jekyll Hyde situation, that she was kind of
Dumb.
Yeah, she's kind of like not dumb. Did you say dumb? I thought you said done. I thought you said done.
No.
I did
Dumb.
like that Belle was kind of I don't want to say coming into her own, but she was sort of like she had someone else to fight for. You know what I mean? Like she has like kind of like that motherly instinct. She's going to try and do what she can, what she thinks is right to protect her and her baby from Rumple. It's kind of like, how many times can you lie? All the lies, and she's finally done with it. And she's doing something different. I did like that. I did not like. I just don't like the whole back and forth and all this stuff between them. It's so freaking annoying. Yeah. It's so annoying, especially I'm already pissed off that he's the dark one again, and it's just so incredibly stupid. All of that reform for nothing, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done it intelligently, but the way they did it was they were acting like nothing had happened the last 5 seasons.
Yeah,
all the progress that Rumple had made, And the fact that Belle would even for a second think that Rumple would ever harm her child, because if there's one thing that we know about Rumpelstiltskin is he will go move heaven and earth and hell and everything for his children.
For his children. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like he wouldn't do that. And she knows this. She knows this because I mean, Bellfire was like the one thing that he was so closed off about. He showed some vulnerability to her when he opened up about Bellfire and what happened. And then she knows the whole story behind that, and she's grieved with him and everything, and it's like, really, you think that he would do the same thing with your child? He's even said, he's literally telling her that he would never do anything like that. I just don't know, and I think the whole setup with him with Morpheus, is it Morpheus dream thing? That's how that's how they set that up. Like, our son gave us a warning, and I was just like, that. No. I don't like that. I don't like that warning. Like, so your son has all of the memories of, and can feel all the pain that Rumple has caused you. It made no sense to me. I don't know.
And it was like Belle had taken stupid pills, and I pointed out how she even told Rumple, your son's doesn't want you just the way your son never wanted you, completely ignoring the fact that they had reconciled before he died, and then that her son was killed. His son was killed after they had been reconciled.
Yeah,
so that's when he should have reached back like a pimp and slapped a hoe. Should have put her in check.
Well. Maybe not. I don't advocate that. I have this metaphorically, but the fun part about this though was the next season. They all went to this convention in Paris, and it was Robert Carlyle's first one, and the actors were always just so, well, blah, blah, blah. And then Robert Carlyle just shows up and said, it was stupid. It was horrible. It was ridiculous. And he said, and then, because one of the French chicks in the audience was saying during a meet and greet with him, she said, it really hurt us. He goes, it hurt you? He said, it hurt me. He said, it hurt Emily, the actors that played them, that he said it really did hurt them because these characters were so personal to them. Because Robert Carlyle himself had this whole father-son dynamic thing with his own father. And of course, Emily, he said it hurt her, and it hurt the audience. It hurt everyone. He said it was stupid. And then once he kind of opened up and started saying that, then the whole rest of the cast were like, it sucked. I mean, and the whole affair with the queen, Lana Peria, that goes, yeah. And I think everyone was completely creeped out.
That was so weird.
Yeah, it was incest basically, because up to that point they'd established that Rumple and Regina had a father-daughter relationship. And
yeah, that was so odd.
Well, and then the fact that he would even screw her, the adultery. I mean, that's what Robert said that really hurt them. And then he said he was very pissed off that they never wrote a scene where Rumpelstiltskin apologized to Belle. Because he said, if they're going to have him do that to Belle, they need to have him apologize. Wait, Biggles, what the hell happened? Oh, I have two Biggles.
I lost internet. I lost internet. Yeah. Is there an echo?
Realize. No,
I was going to say, I didn't even notice it until I saw Mother. But I feel very personal about this because if anyone's ever seen my account or anything to do with me, that Beauty and the Beast was a transforming fairy tale for me my whole life. Very well connected with so much of what I am as an artist and everything. So this fairy tale is precious. I thought that was... It was hard, and they paid for it. I said to Biggles in the green room that if they had not done what they did in 6A, not just to Belle and Rumpelstiltskin, but to Regina with this whole other bullshit, and the way they ruined Zelina, they ruined every single character in 6A, that Once Upon a Time would still be going. Like right now, we would be seeing spin-offs like Once Upon a Time in Wonderland or the Frozen. We would be seeing TV movies and things on Disney Plus. It could have gone on forever, and they just killed their golden goose. So, yeah, I've been ranting for quite a while. Yeah, but Biggles let me because he knew I was gonna go crazy on this. But I didn't know if you had anything else you wanted to say, Stephanie, about the Beauty and the Beast.
No, not about Beauty and the Beast.
Okay. All right. So we also talked about, well, actually anything in 6A because we're about ready to wrap up 6A. So anything you want to say, go for it.
I did really like Hyde. I loved Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved Hyde. I think he did a fantastic job. I liked the dynamic they had with him and how it was actually Jekyll who was the villain, and that's why Hyde is so upset. And they really played on that very well because Jekyll is kind of like a little weasel. You don't really know what's wrong with him until the very last second. I like that. I like that Belle also I like that Belle figured it out, and she had to call for Killian to help, but she wasn't stupid. She kind of figured it out when he said like she'd be mine. He's like yours. She kind of picked up on that a little bit.
Yeah.
She's perceptive in that way. So I did like that, but I really loved Hyde. I loved Hyde. I actually do kind of like how they brought back Regina, the evil queen, as well. Because it's just like, oh my goodness, I missed this person. You really missed the evil queen. But I do like, and I like how they work together too. I thought it was an easy out how they defeated Hyde. It was like episodes and episodes and episodes about how they were like, how do we defeat Hyde? How do we defeat Hyde? It's all about defeating Hyde. All they had to do was kill Jekyll. It felt like an easy way out.
Really dumb.
Yeah, like such a quick way to wrap it up.
Yeah. And my main problem with that whole thing was exactly what you just said. The fact that they wrapped it up, because I think that Dr. Hyde especially was the best part of 6A.
He was so good. Yeah.
He was the alpha, and all they had to do was kill the beta male, and they killed the alpha somehow.
Yeah. And I thought it was a great twist that, as I put Dr. Hyde and Mr. Jekyll, the fact that the evil one was the one that we think of was as a good one. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Like even Rumple was like, I don't want to mess with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's very true. Yeah, that's very true. Because like,
and they're
Rumple tried to choke him, and when he laughed, he's just kind of taken it back, like why wouldn't he die? He's kind of freaked out about it,
Yeah.
But yeah, what is his name? Sam
Whitaker.
something. Sam Whitaker.
Yeah, great.
I hate Sam Whitaker.
But
he was amazing. He's an asshole. But I love him. I love the way he looked. I remember thinking, oh my God, I would date this guy.
Oh, hell yes.
As Hyde.
I mean, that goes without saying.
I was like, oh my God, this is like the only way I ever want to see Sam Whitaker.
Yeah.
To be fair, I wouldn't date him.
Well, he's a poster boy for actors should just shut up and act, because he's a great actor. He's sexy, but he makes you want to hurl.
Yeah, I can't stand him. But I loved him as Hyde. He did a phenomenal job as Hyde, and he really took on that role and made it his own. I love it. I loved him as Hyde. The guy who played Jekyll was really good in that. Like he found him so annoying, So it's kind of like,
because he's
that's why, because he's the evil one.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a great twist.
Yeah.
See, that's a good way of subverting your expectations.
Yeah, but everything else sucks so bad that you're just like, oh, thank God for Nemo and Hyde.
Yeah, we love Nemo. Did you want to say anything about Nemo? Because we love Nemo here at Miss Martin Muses.
Oh yeah, I like that as well. I mean, I don't have a lot to say about it, but
okay. The right answer was just yes. He was perfect, and
correct. Correct, you are.
Correct, you are. Well done. Well done. Now on to our next one. This is getting us into season.
Really quickly.
Oh, sure.
One of the weaker parts of 6A is Mary Margaret's fucking story about how she wants to go back and become a teacher. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, just let her get hit by a bus already. Jeez.
Wait,
Fucking, you want to subvert our expectation? Have her taken out by a bus. Be like crossing the street, and then a bus just goes smack, and then David's like,
And-
"No,
And
no!"
just like how she's like, I want stuff to go back to normal. Get
Yeah,
out of here.
she's a fucking scumbucket.
I was just thinking, Snow had a story. Since
That was her. That's
With
what I'm saying.
Jasmine.
It's the most useless thing of the season of 6A is her like wanting to go back and become a teacher because she wants to feel some sort of sense of normalcy.
And,
It's like-
and we just ignored Aladdin and Jasmine because they're so fucking unimportant in the whole
They
fucking
are-
story.
God,
Oh, yeah.
I can't stand that. I totally forgot about them. Yeah, that whole thing.
Well, when she was going through the mapping, I didn't even want to talk about them, so I was like, we can ignore that. No one fucking cares.
Yeah, it just goes to tell you the fact that we all forgot about.
Well, I thought it with Aladdin and Jasmine, I thought it was stupid that they brought in an idea of multiple saviors. There's been multiple saviors, and yeah. See, but Aladdin was also savior. Yeah, like I thought it was stupid that like
And they
It cheapens Emma.
it cheapens Emma. Yeah, it doesn't really, she's always talking about like, if I'm not the savior, who am I? Oh, don't worry, we got plenty.
hot blonde.
There's plenty of say. You're not the only one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
It-
if
it-
everyone's a savior, no one's a savior.
But they like retcon that thing later when they're like, Rumple was a savior, but they cut his fate. So now
Yeah.
Oh,
so they're like, so they cut that, and they're like, oh, well, Emma was always destined to fight this final battle. So if Aladdin didn't cut his thing, was he supposed to fight the Dark Fairy?
that's a
Right?
great.
Right?
Yeah.
Some
right?
fucking these
It's-
writers need to be smacked in the
It's so
face.
it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous how it's just like, oh, but Rumple was supposed to be a savior. Aladdin too, but he cut with lit. I love how Regina's just kind of like, why does magic have to be so literal? Because there's actual scissors.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate that Hook didn't. I hate that Hook lied to Emma after being so butthurt about her lying to him, and then he's like,
But
"Oh
that
yeah,
gets us the best episode of 5A.
it does," but still, it's like seriously.
Yeah, I remember thinking really, and then of course the next when they finally she confronts him with it, he goes, "I'm sorry," and she goes, "Okay," and then that's it. So it's
It's
like,
alright.
well, what was the point? What was the point?
And then they fight later over something stupid,
Yeah.
and like killing your grandfather. That's really stupid. Okay, like
Yeah.
why fight over that? Like,
Yeah, precisely.
it happened like 40 fucking years ago, and you're crying about it now. Who cares?
Oh well, what
No,
was
it's longer than 40 years ago. It's
Well,
probably
but-
like 60 years.
I'm
well,
just
I mean, killing someone's grandfather actually is kind of serious.
Not really. If it happened like 60 years ago, like whatever. But but the Shears. You know what really pisses me off about the Shears?
What?
That they weren't in season 5.
Yeah,
Season
you mean
5
they
was
just
talking
pulled it
all
out of their
about
butt?
Greek gods and the Greeks, and there was the Shears are a Greek mythology thing that fate uses to cut them. And it wasn't in season 5, it's in season 6. They're like, oh, well, fate
because Aladdin's been there the whole time, and he
No,
doesn't want to
it's-
make himself known.
No,
That's
it's
why.
no, it's because
why.
these writers suck balls.
I'm just saying that's
They're like
you will
gargle, gargle. Takes it all
obviously
at
yes,
once.
obviously yes, but they write it to explain it away because they're like, oh, you're too busy doing savior stuff. You don't need to worry about me. You don't even notice me.
Yeah, plausible
why.
off-screen moments is
Yeah.
what they said. It's like, yeah, it's not
Stupid.
plausible. Oh,
Stupid.
Yeah, gosh, I had totally forgotten about that. Which says something. If you can watch a show and totally forget a big chunk of it like that, maybe there's something wrong going on. But I want to give a slight shout out though to Charming. I thought that he did some really, really good acting when he figured out that his father actually hadn't died as a drunk and all that his it
Yeah.
had been a plot that he had been murdered. Because remember, he'd always thought that his dad just was a drunk who got and who crashed his cart and died. And he finds out that he was actually murdered by King James and using Captain Hook. And I thought that the acting of Josh Dallas was amazing. I thought it was a really good story for him. So of course it was over in 5 seconds too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we go on, I
Mhm.
just want to say the best part about Aladdin and Jasmine and all that is when they're like, it's a magic carpet. And Ariel's like, it's clearly a rug. Because the magic carpet is not a magic carpet. It is a magic rug. And I am so glad that Ariel, the fish lady, was like, no, this is a rug. Okay. You're dumb. Shut up. And that was the only good part of their entire story arc.
Now, I never really thought about that, but that is true. That is true. It is a Persian rug. All right. Well, speaking of which, fairies fuck things up. That's our next theme. Because as we get into 6A and bringing into 6B, it is none other than the blue fairy, the worst fairy godmother in history. Oh, I'll take him. It'll be okay. And she gets like 5 feet.
Yeah.
Then loses the baby Gideon to the black fairy.
Hottie, hot, black. That's what
I
call
love
her.
the black fairy.
She is a babe.
Great.
I
don't
love
know
the
why.
doctor.
Yeah.
I
She
don't know
saved
why,
Dixie.
but very attracted to the black fairy.
Yeah, she was in Dexter.
She's hot. I don't know.
Was she?
Yeah, she was that psycho bitch from season 2 who was crazier than Dexter. She went like Fatal Attraction. He met her at the drug addict, I
need to look it up because I've seen.
Yeah.
I can't. I've only seen that the season Dexter once all the way through.
Yeah, she was also in not the Incredibles, the sequel to the Vampire Diaries, but we digress. But yes, Jamie Murray, thank you. She was amazing, and she was a great character, and
she was,
and I love it. And she's in more ways the savior of season 6B and the show because it got.
I'm sorry, but it got boring. Like I was so bored when watching it.
I was only watching it just.
Wait, 6B or 6A?
6A.
Or the Black Fairy. Oh, 6A? Oh, yeah, 6A.
I was so bored. Like when the Black Fairy finally came in, I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And it gave us a real villain.
Yeah.
And I remember just being completely horrified when we realized what she had done to Gideon. Because remember, Gideon shows up and he's looking like a Dementor,
Yeah.
And then he reveals that it's his son and even Belle. And then we're like, holy shit. And it brought Belle and Rumple together when they realized that what they had done, they had basically confined their son to hell, 30 years of hell, being tortured by this woman, this horrible fairy, who turns out to be Mommy Dearest.
Mom. Yeah.
That's what happens when you trust fairies. Yep.
Never trust a fairy. And I think Rumple says that, doesn't he?
I think so.
I think, he says that as well.
He's always hated fairies, which I thought it was so funny that a black fairy turned out to be his mother because he calls them, what do you call them? Flies?
He calls them all sorts of names. Gnats.
No, but he calls them like one specific name like all the time.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't remember what it is.
Everybody Google. Yeah.
But.
Well, and you learn he's come by it honestly because the Black Fairy's his mother who abandoned him and did all sorts of weird sick shit. And then the Blue Fairy, of course, who led everything to Bellfire. So that was partly his fault as well. But I always thought the Blue Fairy was shady.
I think everybody thought the Blue Fairy was shady. It's like, I'm waiting for you to reveal yourself. Come on.
Exactly. I like certain parts of the Blue Fairy.
Oh, well, yes, everyone liked the 2 parts, those upper parts of the 2 fairy. But it seemed like every time someone was going to make like a good decision or something, the Blue Fairy would come in and go, oh no, try this.
Yeah.
And even with the curse, when Rumpelstiltskin was all like, there's got to be something. She's like, no, there's not something. And then her eyes shift. he's like, "Oh, there is something." She's like, "No, I don't want to say." And so yeah, we all thought. And she messed up Tinkerbell.
She messed up Tinkerbell.
Dreamy.
Tiger Lily.
Yeah,
Her Nova is her name. The pink fairy is Nova.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nova with Dreamy.
Yeah.
She fucking dies.
Yeah. Yeah, she did horrible things. And so the hatred of the fairies, but I also thought that the Black Fairy was a very formidable villain.
Yes.
Badass.
Damn, she was good. And great casting.
Absolutely. Phenomenal
Super
casting.
babe.
I really loved her.
And when Rumpelstiltskin killed her, now I thought it was a little bit cold. It's like, man, he killed his dad and now he killed his mother. But man, that bitch deserved to die.
No, he could have just sent her to my house. I would have saved the day. I would have distracted her for days.
Yeah. Well, Biggles could have saved the show. What can we say? But
It could have.
But
yeah, but
there was no forgiving what she did to Gideon.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason why when he killed her, it's like, for what you did to my wife and for what you did to my son.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he could have manned up and saved that kid, okay? Twice he failed at saving that kid.
When did he fail?
When he didn't go to try to rescue him when she left the thing open. And then when she turned him into a bug and stepped on him right in front of him. He just stood there and took it. And that guy also looks like Timothy Chalamet or whatever his name is, the kid from Dune. But I don't think it is him. But he looks like
It's
him.
It's not. What else has he been in? I haven't looked him up.
Yeah.
I liked Gideon. I like the acting.
I loved it. Yeah. I like the way the themes started coming back together, which is family. And just the way they all,
Giles Matthew.
Belle got her personality back and was fighting for her son again instead of just sitting around being a little whiny little bitch the whole time. So while the Black Fairy is plotting, I totally forgot. I don't know where my brain cells went, but we have the Storytale Land, or whatever the hell the land was stored.
The land of untold
stories. The land of untold stories?
No, Wish World. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Wish World was introduced, which
was stupid.
Was incredibly stupid, but it was so they could pull it right out of their butts about Robin Hood.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, it's dumb, but I like it.
What?
I like it. You know
okay,
what?
Explain yourself.
We get August back. And I don't know how when the Wish World is over, how he's an adult again. Because I don't remember him ever becoming August again other than that one time, and then he turned back to Pinocchio. And
which was stupid in itself. I can't believe they did that. Probably because they couldn't get the actor.
But I don't know how he came back. But you get August, and you get really great August and Emma, right? And that was really good in season 1, in season 2, season 3, when you get the August, or no, what's her name was already dead in season 3. Okay, so season 1 and season 2, you get that great connection with August and Emma. And these two are like great together, like throughout the entire time they're on screen together. And so you get August back, and he's like, well, I'm not my father, I can't do this. And then he comes in and does it. And then you meet Fat Hook, and you're like, oh my God, Fat Hook. And then Fat Hook becomes Nook in the next time. And then we'll talk about him when we get to that. But
yeah, I think this was something that they pulled out of their butts again to bring back Robin Hood and do a few other weird things. But it turned out that the creation of Nook was probably one of the best things that ever happened to the last seasons of Once Upon a Time. I thought he was an amazing character, which again we'll talk about in season 7. But yeah, the fact that he was all big and fat.
So you get
honestly, I honestly don't even remember season 7 because I hated it so much.
Oh, season 7.
I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with season 7. Season 7, if you nitpick certain parts, was fantastic, and then forget everything else that happened. Because I mean, I love I love Nook, the new Hook. I thought he was a great character, and it gave something very challenging for Colin O'Donoghue to do, to play the same character without playing the same character, and gave him a really cool relationship with father-daughter and all that. But which we'll get into that.
No, I don't like it at all. I mean, we'll get into
we'll
it.
Talk about it.
I'm just not looking forward to. I wanted to be like, can we just end it on season 6? That's where it looks naturally ending. I mean, come on, it was like an offshoot season.
Yeah, they definitely should have ended it at the end of this season, because I thought they brought it to a great conclusion. But didn't Emma accidentally kill her parents in the Wish World? Wasn't that part of it as well?
She did.
No,
Henry did. Regina did? I thought it was Henry.
Regina took the hearts and was like, come on, Emma, and squeezed both their hearts and killed them. And then Henry tried to kill him.
That's right.
Yeah. But Henry is like, how the fuck is Henry even alive in the Wish World? Fucking Bellfire's in the human world.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
These fucking writers suck dick. They don't even know their own fuking story.
I know, it was so inconsistent. But
I know. Yeah, I totally forgot. I do enjoy Fat Hook. I liked Fat Hook. I know Colin O'Donoghue loved playing Fat Hook, because he likes challenges with his character. Like, I feel like he gets bored, which is probably why he liked season 7 too, because it's a different thing. Fat Hook was funny. It was funny.
So you get Fat Hook.
And then we get Robin Hood, which is like evil Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Who Regina brings back, and of course it doesn't work out.
Except for with her, the Evil Queen.
With the Evil Queen,
which I thought I was kind of happy with. It was definitely not the happy ending we wanted, but at least they brought something redemptive out of that whole story.
I don't agree at all. I think it was stupid. Yeah, I think it was a way for the writers and Adam Horowitz, for them, the showrunners, to appease the fans, because we were so pissed off that they killed Robin. And the fact that this is it's Regina, but it's not Regina. It's not the same thing. It's not the same character that went through all those trials. It's not the same Robin that went through all of that stuff together. They went to did the Oz storyline. They went to hell. It's not the same thing. And also, I just couldn't help but think, Roland, does
Roland,
right?
Is there a Roland? Is there a Marian? It raises so many questions, and it's just no, it doesn't. This totally and 100% thrown in to appease the fan base, and it didn't work. It didn't work for me. I was like, I'm sorry. I could care less if they get together, if they have that relationship, because it's not the same Robin.
Yeah.
I can the same Robin.
I can see what you're saying there. Fair enough. I think for me, though, at this point, I was so happy to get anything that even resembled something that wouldn't make me jump off a cliff. It was like, okay, that was a nice surprise. Okay, at least something's happening for people.
Is it weird that I think Wish Robin has better hair?
I didn't.
The normal Robin?
No.
Steph is muted.
I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
It just looked better. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I know exactly what Stephanie means, though. They made one of the biggest mistakes they've ever made, which I argue killed the show as well, by killing off Robin Hood, because they let us know that they could put us through the ringer, hell and back, and not give us a happy ending. That was, I think, why when 6A brought everyone to such pits of despair, people really did believe, well, they didn't give us a happy ending for Robin Hood and Regina. They're not going to give us a happy ending. I think really at this point, we only thought they were going to give a happy ending to Hook and Regina. Not Regina. Oh my gosh, that's a way to start a problem. Hook and Emma. Yes. Yeah. That everyone else was just going to be shat upon. But they did a 360, and it was a cop out. I will give you that.
Yeah, but it was really bad. But I liked the Wish World because it was fun, stupid. You got awesome August. You got Fat Hook. You got fucking Henry's like, I'm going to be a badass, even though I never should have been here in the first place. And like they got Bellfire in the fucking on the wall, and you're like, he's not there. How the fuck did like this even happen? Like, then you got like Rumple, who's like, oh, you can let me out because I'm not really real. And doesn't he come back?
Oh yeah, that was a whole
Yeah.
thing about season 7. That's how they pulled out of their buttocks everything that they did with season
Yeah.
7, which was because they didn't want to bring back a lot of the actors because they didn't have the money.
Oh,
that
well, I
point.
never would have. The reason why season 7 is the best season ever made is because there's no Snow White, and I'll stand by that.
Well, there is.
Oh, yeah, she's in one episode. That dumb bitch ruins that one episode.
Oh, really quickly, Ms. Martinez's Teresa, what do you think of Robert Carlyle's new haircut?
Oh yes, it was hot as hell. He had to do it because he was Bigsby again in the sequel to Trainspotting. But oh yeah, it was sexy. We all loved him. There was lots of memes. So if I should say, maybe I need to take everything back. There was something positive because it gave us that sexy hair. And even in season 7, he kind of kept it that way just a little bit longer. So
Yeah.
he was hot as fuck. Absolutely.
That was
Someone makes a
little bit of
comment about his haircut. I forgot who it was.
And then we saw Whale. We saw Whale with his hair still blonde because he was doing iZombie.
Oh yeah. Everyone was doing other things. I love it. Okay, well, let's move on to a wedding and no funeral, because I was trying to think of a clever title. I originally said 500 funerals and a wedding, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I didn't understand what that meant, but I was like, yeah, sure, we'll go with it.
I think the 500 funerals was referring to just how they killed every other people's characters, but that was a little too cerebral, I think, for fuck's sake. So this season makes you curse. That's just all I got to say about that. I try to be a good person, but a wedding and no funeral. So we had a musical. Let's talk about the musical. Go ahead, Beauty.
It is my favorite episode of Once Upon a Time. My favorite episode of the entire show.
I like it, but I think it's corny.
It's absolutely, it's 100% corny. It is 100% corny. They always would ask that question at Comic-Con. Was it Comic-Con?
Yes, I know. Like, when are you gonna do musical?
When are you gonna do the musical episode? When are you gonna do the musical episode? Because we know that like the Hook is a singer. He was in a band. David was like on Broadway. Yeah. Mary Margaret had a pretty voice. Who else? Who was
Zelina?
Zelina.
Well,
Regina had like that really low kind of like raspy voice. It was awesome. I loved the musical episode. I loved everything about it. How it started off with Emma, how she's like, I'm going to enter this little contest, the singing contest. And she's like singing her little song. And then she doesn't do it. But like she hears that tune again and she doesn't want to hear it, you know? I
like the way they tied that into the whole Once theme, the magic theme.
Yes. And then so they make a wish. We need something to defeat Regina, and Blue, of all people, grants them the wish, like the gift of a song. I thought it was kind of odd at the end when it's like the song in your heart or whatever, how she's like, you gave me this song. You've been with me my whole life. I thought that was kind of corny, but I absolutely 100% loved the musical episode. I cried at the wedding. I watched all of like the special features, all the extras behind making the musical episode. Is so corny, 100% corny. And I loved every minute of it.
Yeah. Didn't Colin O'Donoghue sprain his leg doing that?
He did, yeah. He sprained his leg like while they were filming. He had done it. He was like, I did it a whole bunch of times during rehearsal, and while they were filming, he like broke his foot again.
That's going down.
Yeah, going down a chair.
Damn
and
chair.
going down a chair, he broke his foot. He's like, I did this so many times when we were filming, and then he breaks it when they were in rehearsal, and then he breaks it while he's on set, which is so weird. Like, I don't even know how he broke his foot. I think that's is it the same foot that he broke? Like, remember when they did that Beanstalk episode? Yeah.
Yeah, he was snowboarding, and so that's why they had him, like, his character, like, get the crap beaten out of him so that he could limp.
Yeah. I'm wondering, is it the same foot? Did he just like re-break
I think it was the same
foot?
foot. So I think he broke the same one. And that was one of the better numbers. I have some issues with a lot of the singing. To me, was very painful, actually, but because you could tell.
You can tell
they're not singers. You can tell who's a singer and who's not. Like Josh Dallas.
Broadway
his voice
singer.
Is so
holy shit.
You can hear the tone and the timbre of his voice, and then the other ones you could tell. To me, it felt like karaoke.
You want to know what's funny? I thought Zelina sounded better than almost all of them.
Are you fucking kidding me? She had the worst song.
She had the worst song, but I thought she sounded better than the other ones with their voice.
Nah, she had the worst voice. I hated her voice.
Well, she was shouting a lot of what she was singing.
Yeah, I thought
kind of hurt my throat.
I thought she sounded better than the rest of them, but you're right. The song is the worst. I hate that song. It sucks balls.
Yeah. Well, all of them, I know what you're saying, because the quality of the singing wasn't there, but it wasn't really trying, I think, to be the Phantom of the Opera or anything.
No, not at all. I think that for what type of show it is, right? It's like all of these Disney characters in this show plumped together, and we have Captain Hook, we have the Evil Queen, Snow White, Prince Charming. It felt like a 90s cartoon. It felt like a 90s Disney movie. And the song with the songs to match. And I loved it. I loved it so much. I thought that all of the songs that were tied to each character were perfect. Zelina had like the worst song. I felt like she didn't need a song. They didn't need to do anything, but they had to give her a song because she's a part of the show. She honestly didn't even need one. They could have done without her song. Her song was dumb. I hated her song. Regina's song was so amazing.
You could tell she had the most fun out of all of it.
Yeah, she had so much fun with her song. I love how they gave her, because she has such like a low raspy voice, like they played off of that. Yeah. Because when they were doing creating the songs for each character, they kind of or for each actor, they had them come in and sort of like run lines and see what their range was, so they would write within their pitch range. And she was really low, so they were like, let's do like this kind of like David Bowie type feel of a song for the Evil Queen, because we're not going to give Regina a song, we're giving the Evil Queen a song. What would the Evil Queen sing? How would she sound? And so it was like this sort of like 80s rock number. It was really awesome. And then like when they were like, well, we're thinking about Snow White and David, what would their sound like? Well, we're going to go back to like that classic Disney princess and prince song. And so that's why their song was really felt like that, because it was just like, we're going to go back to like the classic Disney prince and princess song.
Yeah, it was reminiscent for me of the kind of voices you would hear in the Sleeping Beauty, the whole Once Upon a Dream and all that.
Hook song was good. I think I love it just because it's Colin O'Donoghue.
It's kind of like it reminded me of
revenge is going to be mine.
Yeah, it was funny. Well, it came off to be almost like a mix of the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Gaston Tavern scene.
Yes, absolutely. That's how his song was.
That actually was my favorite song.
I love that song. I love that song so much. I love that song so much, but A Happy Beginning is my favorite song out of the musical episode. The wedding song.
That's the sing at the wedding.
The song they sing at the wedding.
Yeah.
I forget that part.
It has a really good theme, actually, and it goes in with what they did at the very end of the season, was they gave everyone got a happy beginning, which is why it worked, because everyone got a happy beginning. But I got to give kudos to Emma's wedding dress. It was very Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly. That's exactly what they were going for. Yeah, Grace Kelly.
She looked gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
I am so happy that she did not wear Snow's wedding dress because Snow's dress
that was
looked
ugly as
terrible.
Snow is just terrible. So everything
she
that
looked like there was a
touches is
rat's
terrible.
nest in her hair. Snow
She is a rat.
Now we got to talk about Hook's suit because he starts off with a white one, and the look that he's giving the suit is kind of like,
I'm not wearing that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. You think Emma would be mad if I don't wear it? Like, and I love how when she comes in, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't look at you." It's so cute because he's doing all of like the things that you're supposed to do before a wedding, because he takes it very seriously. He spends the night before their wedding in the ship. It's so adorable.
Well, and doesn't Charlie say something to him about that fact when he's asking if to marry Emma?
I didn't know you were so old-fashioned.
Yeah, he's old-fashioned. He's like, I'm 500-year-old, mate.
It's like, he goes, so I watched this episode this morning. He goes, I didn't know you were so old-fashioned. He's like, well, I am over 200 years old, mate.
Yeah.
200, yeah.
200.
Same idea.
And then, but I love that they gave him velvet. They gave him a velvet coat because, we see Hook all the time. He's wearing leather. You don't want to put him in a suit, a cloth suit. I love that they gave him a velvet coat to wear. It was so perfect. All black, but like that perfect. He looked amazing. He looked perfect.
Oh, well, I mean, for crying out loud, he's hot as hell.
Well, obviously, he wears that suit well.
He wears
Girls are ridiculous.
Well. Hey, come on.
Okay, I even love Hook. Okay.
Honestly, when I watched that, I was like, okay, if I ever get married, like velvet. Like whoever I'm walking towards is gonna be wearing velvet.
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna make him cosplay Hook, but that's a whole.
I am like that's what it's gonna be. Like,
all right, fine, Steph. Only because you're so convincing.
You heard it here first. Breaking news on Miss Martin Muses. Well, we've got to mention the fourth wall breaking line that Rumpelstiltskin gave, because that is the line that Robert Carlyle. That's what he told Adam and Eddie when they asked him about singing. He said that he would rather have his fingernails like pulled out. I forget his exact line that he had said, and they had Rumpelstiltskin say that as well, rather than singing. Well, you just watched it, Biggles. Wasn't? Oh wait, no, you watched the other one. Sorry,
the dark one doesn't sing. I rather.
Yeah, it's like something like I'd rather have my fingernails pulled out with a fork, or something just really torturous. But that is actually what Robert Carlyle had told the writers, and I think they probably knew they were going to get something of that actor from him. But I love the way that they incorporated it into the story. I thought that was clever. Yeah,
I like how before he says anything, the music swells up like he's about to sing.
Yes. And then he's like, psych.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fun. And Belle too, because I'm not sure that Emily DeRaven is necessarily a singer, but it would have been cute to have seen Belle. Well, hell, she would have sung better than Hermione sang in the movie.
He says he'd rather gouge his eyes out with a rusty fork.
That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just like, that's what. That's what Robert Carlyle said. I love it. Yeah, because once again, Belle was asleep. See, that also became a running joke. Belle was always either kidnapped or being put
asleep.
Or asleep. Put to sleep in a curse. or locked in a box.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. All right. So it was a happy fairy tale. And then once again, Henry saves the day. So, because the final battle happens, and Henry's like has to convince Emma again. Actually, I don't even remember. It was so convoluted. And at this point, I think we'd seen this happen very similar way in the ending of season 4. And season 5 finale. And so it's like, okay, season 6, once again, Henry has to save the day, but that's okay because I love Henry. But what it leads to is not just saving of everybody, but the happy beginning. So I want us to talk about the happy beginnings. And I knew teach again, and they got a dog, and they brought
I like that they have the little son. I like how they have like the little boots by their little farmhouse. I kind of think it's weird that like Snow goes to work and David just kind of hangs out with kid, but whatever. Very progressive of them.
He's a stay-at-home dad. He's running the farm. He's a traditional guy. He was a farmer to begin with.
That's true.
Yeah, so I love the way that they ended up on a farm, and again, complete with a dog. I liked their happy beginning. I thought that was really cool, and
really quickly, I just want to say that. Really quickly, I just want to say that the final battle, being in Emma's mind, was stupid.
Yeah, it was. A lot of it was stupid.
It was incredibly dumb. You know, we kept hearing about the final battle, and I love the way the Black Fairy says the final battle, final battle, final battle. I love the way she says it.
Hot.
Well, I love the way she says
everything
it.
Everything she says is hot. Okay,
I love the way
just
she
like
says
how
it with
everything
such
Hook says.
gusto, with like you're expecting something incredibly just. Whoa, okay, what the hell are we going to see? I can't wait to see what she's bringing with the final battle. And it's in her fucking mind. It's so stupid.
Oh, yeah, it was,
it kind of makes sense, though. But what were you asking me?
It doesn't make sense. I was like, did they run out of, like, CGI? What's going on?
Yeah, well, probably, actually. Yeah, well, they spent all their money on the musical. But because we're just going through the happy beginnings, and the happy beginning for Snow and Charming. Now, I love Charming. I've always loved Charming. Yeah. And it made me really happy to see that he was going back to his roots, being a farmer, because that's where he was when he was forced to be a prince. And he's got a doggy, and he's got little baby Neil. And since you hate Snow, you probably would think it's a happy ending or happy beginning that she's off to work so he doesn't have to be around her all day.
Lucky guy. You know what? I don't even remember, so I was watching it and I had it on, and I just, at the very end, I was just like, I was tuning it out. So I was just listening, and that whole part is just visual. So I didn't even recognize or notice any of that happened. Oh. So I don't know what anybody got in their happy beginnings.
Okay, you monster. All right.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we'll go on to Emma and Hook. Of course, obviously, their happy beginning was getting married, but you see that they became like the sheriff and the co-sheriff or something.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh, okay. You thought that was weird? All right. Well, tell us why.
You made the pirate a sheriff.
Well, they're all murderers. I mean, Snow White's a murderer. They all should actually be in federal prison by this point.
She wasn't the sheriff, though.
Emma. Well, actually, Emma, did she commit any federal crimes? I don't think Emma did. Okay, fine.
Well, technically, she did by stealing stuff and crossing. Oh no! Wait, she never made it to Canada, so she did.
Yeah, she served her time. She served her time, though, but. Okay, well, that makes sense. Well, okay, we got to remember that everyone should be in jail by now. Literally everyone, except for maybe Emma and Henry. And,
hey, Henry stole a car and destroyed property, okay?
Well, there you... Okay. So, but I thought that... Okay, I thought it was nice. Like I said, you're a monster. The idea that they were partners together and that they turned the bug into a little, siren thing. I thought that was cool. And of course, My Nerdy Home, you love a Captain Swan. I'm sure you were very happy with their happy beginning. You're muted.
Yes, I was satisfied with that. That's why I thought they should just end the show there. But we did see later on at the end, they show up at the very end.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, the final scene. I loved the final scene as well. Well, that's we'll get there. Too. And the happy beginning for the main characters, we had them. We had of course Belle and Rumple and Gideon, where
Gideon became a baby again, huh?
Yeah, they got their baby back. So it was kind of stupid. It's like, really? but on the other hand, I was happy because they lost their time with their son when he was kidnapped by this. So they're able to go back to where they were supposed to be with having their baby. And they essentially kind of got remarried, quote unquote, even though they never divorced. But obviously they renewed their vows or something and had that wedding dance to Beauty and the Beast. So that's their happy being, that they were starting over.
They should have did that to Emma too. They should have made Emma a baby again, and they had to redo all of it.
Hell no!
No,
yes, because then you can explain why they fucking suck at everything else they do. So they can be like, yeah, now we're shitty again. Now we have to restart the whole story.
Yeah, and they even brought back Belle's wedding ring. I thought that was good, and the brought it back to the fairy tale. We'll talk about this in season 7 because I think they also did the perfect sequel to that moment. Did I get all the happy? Regina. Well, actually, what was Regina's happy beginning?
Oh no! Did you go live with her sister and they were a family together and raised Robin? I don't know.
Is
I
that
don't
what
remember.
it is?
I don't know,
well, that was Zelena's happy ending with Robin. Yeah, and apparently she avoided federal prison for every murder she did. But
she didn't murder enough. Should have killed Snow when she had the chance.
Yeah. Well, I think that where they were going with, since they killed Robin, that her being the mother to Henry and all that was her.
Mm-hmm.
Her happy moment, and
she's like the good queen now.
Yeah, though they pulled that up. They could really, to be honest, they could have gone straight from this episode and then just gone to the final episode of season 7, like as an epilogue, and it might have worked. Because a lot of what happens in between, except for a few notable things. But I like that. And then, of course, they all finally have that Thanksgiving dinner from hell that Charming had said that would happen in Manhattan in season 2. He's like, oh my gosh, it's a good thing we don't have Thanksgiving. And so they do. And they're with Granny and everyone's showing off their babies.
It's very much of a Last Supper moment.
Oh, yeah, literally.
It was.
Even with Emma like as Jesus, which I thought was really dumb, actually. And except for all the babies, I don't think there was any babies in the Last Supper.
No, but it was a very Last Supper moment. With the big table, with the long table, and nobody sitting on the other side.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. You wanna know what I really hate about that? There's no Ruby.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
It's like they keep having Granny, and like the last episode you see with like Ruby, besides the last season, which I don't count because that fucking ruins her even more. She was like, "I'm taking over for Granny. This is my place now." And then they kept Granny and got rid of her. It's like, fuck you guys. I hate you guys.
Well, then she went off with Dorothy, so.
Yeah, she did go off with Dorothy.
Followed the real brick road.
I fucking hate that. That's fucking dumb.
She followed a rainbow road to Dorothy.
Oh my gosh! I don't know if anyone was Judas. Okay?
I know. You know,
no,
when
it's
I
Snow
said
White. There's a reason why one of the lines in season 6 is, "Oh my God, do you tattle on everyone when they're in the bar?" Remember when they're in Aesop's Fable?
Yes.
And that was also Snow's idea, which ends up being Gideon, which ends up leading to them getting stuff. So more Snow being fucking stupid and causing problems, trying to fight Vikings and tattling that they didn't pay their bill. Like, fuck you, Snow, you piece of shit.
Oh gosh, I think I'd block that out too. Yeah, well, that became a running joke too, that Snow can't keep a secret.
Yeah.
And
she
Snow
should have
has
been
to
hit
mess
by a
up everything.
bus. And while she's on her deathbed, she probably told everybody's secret after she got hit by the bus.
Oh,
that's probably what they would have done if they wrote that.
Okay, I found the photo. I'm looking at who would be Judas. Which one is Judas?
In the Last Supper? That's a good question because they.
Whichever one looks like Snow White.
Let me see. Everyone's Googling the Last Supper.
Google.
Yeah, well, because I know that fuck. He's
is
gonna
Judas
be
in
the
The
one
Last
looking
Supper?
shady.
Open
Let me see.
So Judas is in between Peter and Andrew, and it looks like he's in a pink shirt, blue and pink shirt. 1, 2, 3 over from Jesus.
To the left or to the right?
To the left when you're looking at the picture. To the
Okay.
right of
Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Okay. Well, you know what? They're all Judas.
that would be Belle.
Yeah. Belle, oh gosh. Well, no, but Belle got redeemed. Everyone got redeemed. I don't think they no.
I think it would be Belle. Hold on,
Kirsten
let me
Ball.
share this really quickly.
Yeah, because Belle, well, I liked it that they all showed up and we're all friends. Okay, here we go. My nerdy home has it here. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah. There's Granny.
It would be Granny.
Oh, it would be Granny?
Granny's Judas.
Are you sure it would be Granny? I thought it was on the right. You said
No, to the right of Jesus. So here's Emma. Oh gosh, and apparently Hook is Saint John. Okay. And then there's there's Granny over there. Oh, the Judases are Eddie and Adam.
yeah, I know, right?
Hey, I again, to this day, I will never say anything bad about Adam for reasons. I can't vouch for Eddie. But yeah, so that was kind of cute. And then they added the babies. I mean, look at I love the babies. And the idea that in season 7, just to jump ahead again, they had it that when Gideon, because they're preparing for Gideon's birthday party, they have it that all the babies all played together and kind of grew up because they're like, oh yeah, you know, Robin's gonna show up and Neil, and they're all gonna be family, which is good. They could have faded to black, and that would have been a perfect ending. I'm with you. I'm with you there. I remember just being so happy that they didn't just fuck up everything. And I think it was a worst kept secret that they were introducing older Henry in there, that was Henry running around somewhere in the middle of this episode.
Oh yeah, like the beginning of the first part and the beginning of the second part, there's Lucy and Henry.
Yeah.
And Tiger Lily. So they introduced Tiger Lily, well, not in this episode, but right there at the end, that she's with Lucy. Well, she's not in season 7, so it's like, way to go, writers. Well, she should have been in season 7.
Yeah. Well, at least she got a happy ending. Her happy beginning was she got to go over to Resident Alien. So, the actress. Okay. Well, that's it. That is, again, we could end it right here, but yeah, we are going to talk about season 7. I'm not going to force anyone to show up. I mean, I have a lot of good things to say about season 7. I actually do. There is a way to watch it.
I like season 7.
That is the worst season for me. I hated season 7.
I
hated it.
Mine was 5. 5 is by far the worst.
5
and then 6A.
Season 7 is the perfect example of a show that's just extending a show where it doesn't need to be extended.
No.
Perfect example.
No, there was no reason to continue it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just list it now. I'll give a preview. The good parts about season 7 were, I love the relationship and friendship between Wish, Hook, and Rumpelstiltskin. I thought that was great. I liked Wish, Hook, or Nook and Robin. I thought that was great. I also thought that the episode Beauty, what they did with Belle and Rumpelstiltskin and all of that was very well done. And I liked Henry, the older Henry. I thought it was really cool how in the last episode they had Henry calling Henry. I thought that was sweet. And then it ended with them melding together all of the worlds of Once Upon a Time, so they all could just hang out together and wouldn't have to find some weird portal. So there we go.
I thought it was dumb.
Summarize.
Okay,
I thought it was dumb.
I thought 5 and 6 were dumb, and you watched those episodes. Okay.
Well, Hook. Well, they didn't screw over the Hook and Emma fans. It was just everyone else. But
I thought
right.
it was we'll get into it, but I could
Yeah,
not
we'll get
stand
into it. Yeah,
season
we'll go
7.
into details.
Yeah.
Overstayed the welcome. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, very much so. Overstayed their welcome.
Absolutely.
They should have ended it after season 3, before
Yeah.
3B.
Yeah, 3B. Well, I've always said that. I said that they should have faded to black, where they were like, "Look, we're all happy," and they're all Robin and Regina are with Roland eating ice cream. Belle and Rumpelstiltskin Skinner married. Yay, fade to black. But I didn't.
That would have been good, but it would have been a little short lived. That's too early. I think that them being, can you imagine Thanksgiving? Thank goodness we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. And then they ended on Thanksgiving. And that is the perfect way to end the show. But no, we're not even like with the characters that we're familiar with. These are brand new characters. Yes, they're the same actors, but they're different characters. So it's, I could not get into it.
Well, and they also just tried to imitate the old
season 1
too. Imitate season 1. Yeah, Lucy was Henry and all that, and it just didn't work.
It didn't work. I don't like it. I don't like that they gave Hook a kid with
It was Nook.
Whatever. I don't like that they gave Nook.
And
that's what I'm saying. Like it's so stupid. I did not like it at all.
Well, like these these writers, they really like rape, so that's why they got him raped too.
Well, you see, that was another part of it. Yeah, we didn't even talk about all the rape babies. I mean, we have 2 rape babies. We have goodness knows how many people that was Zelina. She was rapey. She raped Robin. She raped Rumpel, pretty much. Though it was implied. They raped Regina raped the sheriff.
Graham.
They were a bunch of friggin' rapists. Graham. Yeah, she terrorized him for 30 years or 28 years. Did win the fight. Oh my gosh. And by the way, Mark Davis, yay, welcome. Yeah, we all know, hey, What If Once was a cop show.
That's that's what it
Yes. And of course,
exactly what it's so. I hated season 7. Jesus. I can't believe I have to watch it again.
Yeah, Mark, always good to see you.
You don't have to watch it again.
Yeah, he was a friend of Once Upon a Fan, and of course a great fan of the Blue Fairy, or at least the actress, right? Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of the actress, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, everyone is. Yeah, well, a lot of men are. Okay, the straight men, because let's just be honest, there's less straight men than non-straight men that watch this show. And that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. Well, I feel like this is a bit of a two-parter. I think that we've come to a conclusion, just like the show, come to a conclusion of our series, and then we've got one more. So let's go ahead and give.
We're doing Wonder Woman too, right? Or no?
Wait, Wonder Woman? What?
Wonderland.
No, Wonderland after, right?
No,
we could. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Maybe not. Let's see. Straight ladies. Okay, that's what I said. I said not all of them are. Okay, I said most of them. And there's not. I'll just leave it there. Yeah, now everyone's going to be professing their heterosexuality. Well, Biggles, you got into it because your girlfriend watched.
No, it wasn't my girlfriend. It was just some random girl who wanted me to watch it so she could watch it with me.
Okay. Well, there you are.
I thought it was a girl you wanted to date.
I don't know.
Were you friend zoned?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not. But we never went into a relationship, so maybe. But there were never, the things happened. The things. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. TMI. All right. Here we go. I'll let Steph go first because I will. Steph. Everything Once Upon a Time. Anything you want to say?
I loved the musical episode. I think Emma's growth and Emma's character, Hook's character, and a lot of Regina's character characters. I loved, with the exception of what happened to Robin, those three characters to me had the most growth throughout the entire series. They kind of like TikTok seesawed a little bit, but overall, they had consistent growth throughout the series. I guess the season overall for me, I have so much fun watching it. Yeah, there's crap episodes and stuff, but a lot of the stories that they tell, a lot of the actors that they cast, it's perfect acting or perfect casting a lot of the times. Musical episode, very much my favorite. After that song came out, as soon as the soundtrack was available, I like got it on my phone and I would just listen to it everywhere. Colin O'Donoghue, best Captain Hook ever. And I really don't like Henry.
He became a whiny little bitch.
He became he's one of the characters that's just kind of like, he was great, and then he became a teenager and they wrote him, I don't know, just they gave it, maybe it's because they gave him like the power of the author.
Whiny little bitch.
Maybe it's because they gave him like the power of the author, and a lot of times he was just like, I want to help. How do I help? He's always very useless. So they gave him like the power of the author, and I don't know. I just didn't really dig that.
Yeah.
So
I can understand that. I think that they shorted out a lot of the characters towards the end. So I always feel like I never blamed the actors or even the characters. I never blamed the characters rather for what they did. I just kept feeling like the writers were just sabotaging them.
I don't think they were sabotaging. I really think that they were just running out of ideas.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, yeah, they progressed.
Trying to subvert our expectations.
No, I don't think so. I really think that they were out of ideas. It was kind of like, okay, what else can we pull from? And it's a lot of times it's like, okay, well, this character has grown so much. Let's kick him back a notch so we have a story to tell. That's how it felt.
They were afraid to think outside the box, actually, because there were many moments where they almost kind of evolved into something that would be great and different. And then it was like, no, let's just, as you said, let's just negate everything they've done and have them redo their journey.
Yeah. It was a lot of that. It was a lot of that in like seasons 4, 5, and 6. It was a lot of like, okay, we're gonna redo it. Let's retell this story, but maybe in a different way. We're gonna redo this character. Let's tell us the same story, but in a different way. So a lot of that got really repetitive and annoying. And season 6 was kind of, again, when I was watching it, I loved seeing the evil queen back, but at the same time, I'm thinking, I've seen this already.
Yeah, exactly. All this has happened before, and it will happen. It'll happen again. So I didn't really want to do our MVPs and all that for season 6 and favorite episodes because I just really felt like maybe it wouldn't work. I mean, obviously, you would probably choose a musical episode, but if you were to choose an MVP though for the entire 1 through 6, what would it be?
Regina.
Okay. I mean, tell us. Or you're just gonna leave it there.
Regina. I mean, Lana Parrilla is such a good actress. And when she's in the role of the evil queen, she has so much fun with it. I find myself hanging on every word, on every single word, on every line that she spouts. I love the way she plays the evil queen. And I also love how she plays Regina. When she's Regina, she's everything that her mother taught her to be. She's very refined. She's very classic. She cooks. She takes care of her son. As the seasons progress, she put others before herself. And I just love the way she plays the character. She's an amazing actress. And whenever, I mean, if Hook is on screen, I like him. He's great. Emma's on screen, okay, sure, she can be whiny too, and it's just kind of like I don't know if it's the way that Jennifer Morrison played the character, but at some points she could get annoying. I never once felt annoyed by Regina, by the character of Regina. And I don't know if it's because of the way Lana Parrilla played her. I don't know if it's because she got better, lines and they wrote her character better than all of the others. But I never once was bored. I never once was annoyed. I was always just captivated by her performance throughout all of the seasons.
That's a good point, especially when you're talking about consistency. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who would you be your LVP or least valuable?
Snow.
Well, we know what you're gonna say, Biggles.
It's almost a tie between Snow and Belle, honestly. I think that Belle has an edge just because a lot of her story is tied to Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
So there's more to her character, but Snow, I felt like her character reached her end after she had Neil.
Yeah. After season 3, yeah.
Yeah. I felt like that's when, okay, what more can we do with her? What more? That's why, like in season 6, they were like, well, let's just give her a story where like she just wants to go to work. She wants to go back to teaching because she's useless. She's just like there tagging along all the time with her big coats carrying around her bow and arrows. It's just kind of dumb. And a lot of times she gives
killed her off after the first episode.
A lot of times she gives really horrible advice. She I don't know what it is, but you know the episode where they're going to hell and Emma's like, you two share a heart, so do we. And the look that she gives her daughter, kind of like, excuse me, like that's our thing,
Yeah.
After a while, it's kind of like, and again, I wonder if it's because the actress Ginny, whatever her name is, got bored of the character. Just didn't want to play the character. You know what I mean? Just like is phoning it in.
Well, it wasn't like they gave her anything to do either.
They didn't give her much, but what they gave her, she just like did nothing with it.
Okay.
So I think that's why Belle has an edge, just because her story, honestly, her story came to an end after she's just like, I want to introduce you guys to Prince Neil. And that was it. Like that was it. They retold Charming and Snow's story when they go back in time and they're back and she has a baby, and like that ended her story. Then on, I felt like she was really useless.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
I would. 1, she's been useless.
Oh well, I would disagree with you on that.
So,
okay.
But that's why I think that Belle has an edge, just because there's more. She does, even though I feel like she's like, let me just go look it up in a book. Let me find it in a book. I did research at the library. I read bookworm. Because her story was tied to Rumple's, she has an edge.
Sure.
There's more to do.
Fair enough. Well, let's go to Biggles. Your MVP, because I think we know what you're.
Nemo. However you say his name, best character, and I've said it before. He's like a father. What?
Well, yeah, for season 6. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're for the whole season, for seasons 1 through 6.
Oh, for all of it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I shook up the format, because instead of going with season 6.
Okay.
Well, Nemo is the MVP for season 6.
For all of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been in all of it. No, I'm going to go best for all of it. I'm going to go with Hook. Hook is my favorite character in the show. I would put Rumple right next to him. So my top 3 are him, Rumple, Regina. And even in season 7, I like Regina even more in season 7, because her name is my name too.
I don't know.
My real name and Regina's name in season 7 is the same. Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie. Oh, I thought Roxy. I had the wrong name. I'm like, wow, that's very progressive of your parents. Okay.
Yeah, so
all right. Yeah,
so I like her even more in season 7. But those are the 3 best characters in the show. They have the best arcs, even though they completely fuck over Hook's arc in 5. But he redeems himself in 6.
Yeah.
Rumple, if they didn't fuck him over in 6A, and if they didn't fuck him over in 5, he probably would have been the best. And 7 makes him
4.
even better.
Yeah, 7.
7 makes Rumple even better. 7 makes Regina even better. Because like they ruined all of her character when they brought in second Regina. So they each have a season that shits all over them. But they're still the 3 best characters in the show. And we all know the worst character for me out of all of them is Snow White. Snow White sucks. She's complete and utter trash. There's other than that first episode where you find out how she falls in love with Prince Charming, I think she's a completely useless character. She's always giving the wrong advice, and she's very selfish. She's extremely selfish. She projects onto others when you could tell when she became mayor. She's just a piece of shit, and I hate her. And fuck her.
Well, okay. Well, there you are. My MVP for all 1 through 6, objectively speaking, I think has to be Charming. I mean, when you really think about who's the anchor, he never has a bad season. He's the anchor for the town. He's the leader. Snow's not the friggin' leader of the Enchanted Forest or anything. It was always him. That he was the one who was the leader. He was the military leader in the Enchanted Forest. He pulled everyone together. He was a family man. He was the rock for Emma. I mean, how often was Emma really able to go to Snow? But he was always there. He was best buddies with Hook, even with Rumpelstiltskin. They had a bro thing going on that at the end of the day, you could always depend on Charming, and he never, ever betrayed the integrity of who he was.
He's the 4th best character in the show, if you ask me.
Yeah. And I would say a lot, maybe some of these other characters, except for the fact that they were just crapped on. That's why. And the LVP, I guess.
Snow.
Well, no.
Snow.
Well, you already said Snow.
Snow.
No.
Snow.
Oh, I guess I could say Snow, but I think that you got Belle, and this is weird because I love, you know how much I love Belle, and except for Belle, the way she was in Skin Deep, and until like 6B, she was completely worthless. She just sat around and bitched and complained. I mean, even in season 2, she bitched and complained. In season 3, actually, season 3, she was kind of cool, but maybe it'd be right to call Belle the character that disappointed me the most, because she really was a great character, and they just didn't bother her. And maybe Zelina. I mean, Zelina didn't really do anything.
Oh, I forgot about Elsa because she was only in one season, or one half of the season.
Well, Elsa's your favorite. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's hard to say guest people. And Snow, Belle, Maleficent, Cruella, Ursula. Yeah. Oh yeah. Gosh, that was just so terrible. The guest stars. But yeah, I mean,
I like the actress that played Cruella.
Oh, the actress was amazing. Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, Cruella was probably the best of the 3.
She was, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, and if we were to say an overall best episode that you have, Minority Home, I think you already said it.
The musical episode.
The musical episode. So that'd be your favorite for season 6 as well as for, wow, the entire thing. All right. Well, there you go. Can't go wrong there. How about you, Biggles?
What's the one where you meet Hook, and he's
The crocodile.
yeah, Crocodile. That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm. That was an amazing episode.
And
I'll
then
give you
Skin
that.
Deep, and
Oh, well.
then I think those are my two favorite.
Yeah. Of course, my favorite is Skin Deep. I think that is probably the perfect episode. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's not just because of Belle and Rumpelstiltskin, not just because of Beauty and the Beast, but every main character shines in that episode. Regina's great. Snow is actually pretty cool in that one too. They got good stuff with Ruby. You got good things with Emma. You've got good things with Charming. Because even though he sucks, that they really did explore the themes in that. The writing was amazing and the acting was over the top. Good, rather. So there we go. That's what I would say. And do we want to just go ahead and throw out, if we were to try to say, you said the MVP for season 6 was Biggles. You said Nemo.
Nemo, yeah.
Yeah, and that I think, I mean, Steph, if you had to choose for season 6?
For season 6, it's a tie between Hyde and Regina, or the Evil Queen. Like
The Evil Queen.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then
Count of Monte Cristo was awesome too. Those were so my two favorite episodes actually were in 6A.
Yeah.
Monte Cristo was good. Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah, and I'd have to say probably.
But he was just in one episode though.
I know.
Yeah. Probably
that one episode stole the season.
Yeah. I think that Dr. Jekyll, or sorry, Mr. Hyde, would be the best for me. But isn't that wild that season 6 sucked so bad that it was just the guest stars that were the MVPs?
Yeah.
Like, that the main characters were so badly written that we can't say that. And I can't say the worst episode or the best episode unless you wanted to say the last one or the musical one, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Okay then. Because I mean, wouldn't the LVP be the rest of the cast?
Everybody else, yeah.
Everyone else sucked until the last episode.
It's going to be Aladdin and Jasmine and Snow.
Oh, Aladdin and Jasmine were terrible. They were so boring.
Oh yeah, I mean, gee whiz. Well, I think I told you that no one wanted to even review them. No one wanted to talk about it, and I was like begging people, please help me, because we lost the will to watch. Yeah. Mark Davis says it's really funny that the Evil Queen Regina is clearly the best character in the entire series, and if she's a co-star, yeah, doesn't that say something? Yeah. And I have, we in chat, you've all been amazing, and your comments, I've been putting them up here. This show is still very divisive because I have such a love-hate relationship with it. Because when it was good, nothing was better, and when it was bad, nothing was worse.
That's true.
Gosh, yeah. Did the Witch of the North ever show up? Yeah, there was an episode where all the witches, the east, north,
Glenda was in
northeast, southwest.
Yeah. But in season 6, they're like, "Oh, I got this from the Wicked Witch of the North, and the Wicked Witch of the North isn't a thing. That's Glenda. That's the Good Witch of the North. There's only the Wicked Witch of the West and Wicked Witch of the East."
Mm-hmm. Yep. There you go.
So. Season 6.
Mark. Yeah. Mark. Yeah, we're gonna get there in season 7 because again, I feel like season 7 is almost an epilogue. I don't feel like it's part of the main story.
No, it was the villain was the girl in the tower.
Lady Gothel.
Lady Gothel. Yeah, Mother Gothel.
Yeah.
Because didn't she have a baby with Hook?
She was the one who raped her.
She raped
her. She raped. Yeah.
Yep.
Because everyone apparently had to get raped, but man, they were obsessed with male rape. Because actually, it was all the men were getting raped. None of the women got raped. It was the dudes, and then they all got pregnant. And it's like, not that there's,
I don't like any of the writers.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, listen, I love life. Yeah, I'm glad that products of rape, it's not anyone's fault. Blah 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 in real life, but like, why were they so obsessed with rape babies in their story? Yeah, because it's it's disturbing.
Mhm.
It's like, why couldn't they have just like had normal babies that were not the product of violence? I thought that was very disturbing. Sign me up. Wait, about the villain or the that woman was in Burn Notice. Okay, what are we signing you up for, Mark? Help me out here. I don't know.
They
did Rapunzel.
They
Yeah.
had a black
Rapunzels.
Rapunzel, and then they ended up making
Regina
Rapunzel in
Rapunzel.
season 7.
Yeah, because it was basically a copy of Regina that was Rapunzel, and then
Oh, Victoria.
No, they did. No,
So-
Rapunzel was remember she was the
Victoria was Lady Tremaine and Rapunzel.
yeah, that's yeah. So what I'm
Victoria.
saying is like she was like the mayor of the town, you know. She like ran the neighborhood. She was like the big bad, and she even dressed like I'm saying she was like Regina was in season 1 of Once Upon a Time. They just redid everybody.
They did
Victoria, that's the one.
Rapunzel.
What all the men?
Remember Rapunzel was like the tower with David and how they had to face his fear. That was Rapunzel.
Yeah, but
That was
did
the first Rapunzel,
in
but season 7 did
too.
another Rapunzel.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you're thrilled about that. Yeah, they redid everything with the 6-pack throat. Yeah, no, not the men got pregnant. Well, no, the men got raped.
Yeah.
And then the
women.
rapist got pregnant. And I like I said, I don't judge
It was
anybody,
really weird.
but it was just a very weird choice. If you're going to write a show, why are you so obsessed with all the characters being conceived through rape? That's
especially
just
if especially because it's a kids show.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. There's an awful lot of rape for a show that was supposed to be relatively family friendly. Because it was on the 7 o'clock time. Women raping men. Yes, it can happen. I don't want to have to explain it to you. And this is not the sex ed show. But yes, it happens. It just happens differently for obvious reasons. But yeah, it was pretty messed up. So that's season 1 through 6. We will be doing episode 7 though. Episode 7, season 7 as an epilogue, but no judgment if people do not have the will to watch, or no judgment here because
I feel like I blocked that out of my mind. I don't even remember season 7. I just blocked it out.
I don't remember the first half of season 6, and I just watched it again.
I can't believe you actually rewatched it because I could barely see it the first time. Again, there's bits you can pick out for me that were just fantastic from season 7 that were really, really well done. But yeah, there's probably about 2 hours of quality in the entire season 7, which says
a lot.
Yeah, it does say a lot. They
overstay their welcome.
Yeah. Well, I'll mention this again when we get there. A lot of what they did in season 7, they actually should have started incorporating into the show in season 4 instead of trying to rehash the same stories from season 1, 2, and 3 and bringing all the characters backwards. Like some of the things that they did were pretty cool. Yeah. Mark Davis says Ronnie is a leather jacket and jeans roll in. So it's like if she is a 10 when drunk and a 2 when sober.
Because they used their magic, to be different women.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, they use magic.
So it's like
yeah.
they're attracted to this different woman, and then they turn out to be like these hideous creatures. Even though the other one is, I don't think Selena's ugly, but
yeah.
But still, it's not the girl you were expecting, and you're like, what the hell?
There was a lack of consent. Okay, yeah, I see you, Brian. Okay, you know what happens. Okay, like I said, I don't.
I wish they did Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why we all started to get a little bit disturbed. That again, we're talking about a fairy tale show, and we all had to start talking about rape as much as we had to, which was like weird. Maid Marian is amazing. The actress, again, no fault with the actress. It's not her fault. She was great. I got to interview her. She is absolutely lovely. And if you ever get a chance to see her, Christy Lang, she's great. But they were at the mercy of the writers. And many of them will tell you, like, listen, it's my job to just read what they give me, and we're supposed to interpret that. They're at the mercy of the writers, even the directors in TV shows. That they don't write this stuff. If Stitch showed up, that would have been effort. Night, all you excellent and admirable hobbits. Well, thank you. Yeah, we are going to be closing up. Thank you so much, everyone that popped in. So great to see so many people here and discussing and engaging. Best chat ever. I really love you, and I love seeing again some of the old gang from back in the Once Upon a Fan days when things were really wild and crazy. But Once Upon a Time was an event. It was a it was a vow. It was an adjective. It was a noun, and it was a way of life. And as always, thank you to my guests for being here and discussing these. Biggles, where can we see you?
You can see me anywhere you want. Oh, but twitch.tv
Oh my gosh.
Biggles_Mets. And then on YouTube, it's just Biggles Mets.
Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, and if any of the mods, if y'all have any links, if y'all wouldn't mind that. Okay, thank you very much. And of course, let's see, My Nerdy Home, thank you for being here. Where can we find you?
On Twitch and Twitter at My Nerdy Home.
Well, there you are. And you can find me here at Miss Martin Muses. We have upcoming our Silmarillion book discussion on Saturday morning at 11 Central. Oh, there we are, Biggles. Thank you. Wait.
I'm working on Steph's.
Okay, thank you very much. Do appreciate that. Do appreciate that. What else do I have coming up? Oh, the Fantasy Tavern's coming up next Tuesday. And things are a little wild in my life right now. So stay tuned. Stay tuned on Twitter and on YouTube, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, and what really ticks me off. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Michael Asylum. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I do appreciate you. Have a great evening, everyone. Have a great evening. And be certain to just stay away from Snow White.
Yeah, and hit her with a bus. If you're a bus driver.